Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today we're going to be diving into something I've been getting a few inquiries about generally, and it involves the question of can you build a mobile app with web? And it's a yes or no answer, yeah. And briefly, yes, you can. No, web doesn't give you the feature that functionality or feature natively because of how WeWeb is currently. But what they do have is what we call a PWA plugin, and the PWA plugin allows you to extend your web application to give you a mobile app feel or feature basically. And an example of that is this right here. This is the plugin generally that we're talking about. Wait for it to load, and this is it right here called PWA plugin. So it allows you to extend your application in in so many ways and gives you certain functionality that feels like a mobile app. So, but before we go in here and dive into this application, let's learn about PWA and what it does basically. So first off, what's the PWA app? Yeah, it's a type of web application that delivers an app-like experience directly through the browser, and it's built using standard web technologies like CSS, HTML, JavaScript, and it can be installed on your device and your device home screen. So if I do a quick demo on my own device, yeah, the app I just showed right here is available for my screen is blurred, but generally it's available for me to load quickly on my phone, on my home screen, basically like a normal application would. And we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of working with WeWeb PWA basically. The first thing is the fast time to market. Yeah, so you can easily build and publish than native apps because you don't have to go through the setting up on Apple Store, setting up on Google Play Store, going for the App Store review, paying different fees for both Apple and mobile and Google Play Store, and all of those intricacies regarding building a mobile application, you definitely get past all that and you go straight to market when you just click on publish, because it is a web application masquerading as a mobile application. So you don't have to go through all the mobile app, generally the mobile app route and the stress that comes with it. Secondly, it's cross-platform. So you can build for multiple platforms at once without worrying about approvals and specifications, like I said earlier. But the good thing is that it's not mobile first, it's web first, and it's cross-platform. So um, you can tweak some parts of your application to make it a great mobile design or mobile experience. And that's the great thing about working with PWA, because most mobile builders like Flutterflow doesn't give you as much customization as WeWeb would when it comes to web. So yeah, Flutterflow has web functionalities, but it's not always as good as WeWeb's. And as someone that has built in both, I can confidently tell you, if you do build a web application on Flutterflow, when you're about to scale, it's going to create some issues, especially because it's extensively not for web applications. It's mostly for mobile, and it works perfectly with mobile. But when you're going to try to go cross-platform efficiently into web, you're going to have some orders. Whereas with web, your web application is still your web application, but you are offering a mobile app experience also. Native app like feel, like I said, you get some native app functionalities like animations, offline capabilities, and a mobile friendly UX that kind of gives you a native app experience. So if I go back into my editor, and you can see this is what I have for my web view right here, I can extend it to make it seem like a mobile app. So if I was on my mobile device, this is how it's going to look like basically. And you can see how I extended my application from being a web app to a mobile application, and I can use it in any way possible while saving myself the time and stress of building on two tools like WeWeb and Flutterflow. I can just build on this once, and if you're building an MVP, it allows you to test quickly and iterate better and get whatever review you need to before you can now decide to go mobile first, or just stick to this to help you grow your business to the point where you can now go mobile first. Um, so that's that. And now let's look at the disadvantages, which are the cons of working with PWA. Limited native API access. Yeah, I think that's the biggest issue basically. PWA is still growing. Yeah. So, and how devices are. Some things are being gatekept. Some companies are gatekeeping certain functionalities to their app store only, and but with PWA, it's growing basically. But the issue is you don't get access to all native features. Like you don't have access to Bluetooth, biometric authentication, or advanced camera control. So your users can't use the Face ID to open up their phone. You can't use Bluetooth. You have limited Wi-Fi, functionalities, and basically anything relating to native API access. Also, notifications, especially with iOS devices, you are more limited when it comes to PWA apps. So, the ideology I always preach to people is to keep it simple when building a PWA app. You can, because you need to know your limitations. You're not building a mobile application, so you obviously won't get mobile application features, but you can utilize some of the advantages that comes with this. And the second thing is iOS limitations. Like I said earlier, with iOS devices, you still have minimal PWA capabilities. Like you can work with push notifications, background sync to run some things on the background before a user opens up the application. Thirdly, you have no app store presence. So if you're thinking of running that as a marketing scheme for showing users that you're on the App Store, you do not have that basically because you're not an application. You're basically a web app, and you're offering users the functionality to download your web application into their home screen and give it a native app-like feature. So it means out on the App Store visibility, um, or like I read earlier, unless you're wrapping into like Capacitor or Cordova, or a new tool I've been exploring called Despia Native. Yeah, I'm going to mention them in the comments. So I think they're okay. I've not tried them extensively, but I think you can take a look at them. So that's the issue basically with working with PWA apps in WeWeb. And tips, basically things I always utilize when working with this basically. First off is build simple. Like I said earlier, you're not a mobile application, yeah. So you're interested in creating a mobile application, or you're thinking of investing in it, or you want to extend your app to it. So for an example of a great PWA app is, let's say for example you're working on a internal tool and you have salespeople out there or delivery out there, and you want them to be able to use your application on a mobile device. You can extend it with a PWA app. Instead of going to another tool to then build a mobile device, a mobile application, you can rather extend your web application to allow them use it on their mobile devices easily and give them that native app-like feature and work way better than investing the time, the effort, and the funds into building two applications, which is one for mobile and one for web. And it takes a lot of manpower to manage both. And at some point, you're going to make mistakes that you really don't want to make, and it takes a really good developer to manage both at the same time. So to make the most of it, you should aim for simplicity in your design. Don't go for something too big. Know your space, know what you're trying to build, and build it. Yeah, don't avoid unnecessary complexity in your development process. You don't need to go too big and try and say, oh, you want to build the next Airbnb mobile app. Yeah, you can, but you're gonna face some minor issues, and there are certain techniques or processes you can do to make it easier. And if you want to do that, you can reach out to me, or you can talk to a professional to help you take a look at it. So build simple, nothing too much, basically. Secondly, build efficiently. Yeah. When it comes to your database, your workflow, your interaction, your design, general experience, interaction or experience design, you need to build or you need to design efficiently. It needs to be smart. You need to be smart about fetching data. You need to be smart about navigation, and that's something I'm gonna show you in my application right here. So in here it's more like what we have here is more like a single page app. Yeah, so I'm building everything on a single page right here because when you're working with mobile devices, depending on users' internet connection and offline capabilities, it might be a bit slow. So when you're navigating through pages and maybe you're running workflow on page load in WeWeb, it's gonna take a while to load because basically it needs to run the API call or whatever you're doing. And the thing about mobile application is users expect a different experience from mobile apps because they are not like web apps that there's a bit of um well, I say speed is not compared to the way you have mobile applications because mobile apps, you open your app, it opens immediately, you do this, you do that, and you're done. And when people don't get that experience with your mobile application, it might create a terrible experience. So you need to design efficiently from your UI design like this right here. And I'm working with something simple, no complex design components. All I just have is this, so it's easy for me to create and improve my mobile app design or my web app design with a different screen weight into a mobile screen. And that's just something you need to take into consideration when designing. Basically, I barely have any on page workflows. Yeah. And it's easy to manage. Like I said earlier, I built something simple. I'm not working on anything too complex in here, basically. And navigation is basically one page. And come down here, you can see I have my expenses, income overview, AI chart in one section, basically, all in the same page. So I can easily manage what I'm building. And as this app is going to be available for users on their mobile device, they're barely going to know the difference in experience from their mobile to their web. So, for example, you want to use on your mobile, but you're not beside your phone, you can also come down to your web application and also use the app. So that's it with the tip. Yeah. So verdict is it's worth it. I think it is. Yeah, I would generally recommend utilizing it if you're working on a side project, an MVP, or you want to launch fast, or you want to extend your application to certain people. I think the thing is it's not a mobile application, so you need to remember that every time. So definitely you trade off some native functionalities that you might not have, for speed, for ease and whatever basically. But one thing you can note is that you can extend your web applications or wrap it around in other tools like Desktop Native. Just gonna do a quick demo right here on what they do basically. So like I said earlier, allows you to ship your web app um truly mobile native, and they have some functionalities like an easy device SDK. It allows you to download your code and basically everything, and mostly works like WeWeb when you want to publish. Yeah, you can reach out to them, let them know how they work. So, guys, that's the end of my app session. You should like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also go to the comment section and let me know what your thoughts are or whatever questions.